Welcome everybody to Rob's MetalWorks tonight. We are out on the street, yes, working it hard here at Bonds 007 to welcome really one of my closest brothers from the El Paso metal scene. I have with me Pissing Razors this evening, and the man Mat Lynch and Joe Rodriguez of the band here.
Hey buddy, how you doing, San Antonio?
To chat with us this evening. Guys, thank you so much for taking an opportunity to catch up with us. You know that Pissing Razors is an important band here in San Antonio, and an important band to me, you know, since I've been loving and supporting you guys since 1998.
It's been a stretch for sure. And what would we do without you in the city of San Antonio, man? This is such a great place. This is music central for us, honestly.
I still remember the day.
Yeah, it's music central.
I got lots of crazy memories, Joe, of you from fucking back in the days, and we'll keep those under wraps for now.
It's all good.
When I write the book, then I'll share them all.
Hey, they've said I should write one too, so we might end up with 2 books. How about that?
You guys are here again in San Antonio. I think the last time you were here was in 2021.
Yes.
Right?
It was, yeah.
November of 21.
Yeah, and here in this club.
Yes.
And what an amazing show. I remember I shot a lot of that footage. We had a great time. And I remember we interviewed at my house the night before, right, Joe?
Absolutely.
Matt, you weren't there.
I was not here, but I made it.
Now you're here. That's why I'm so happy that you're in front of our cameras, because we missed you that night. And hijo, man, you know, when I'm with these crazy guys,
Yeah, things can happen.
like I can't party with these guys. And when I party with these guys, I have to commit like 2 days because I'm done the next day too.
It's recovery, right? You got to get through recovery. So there's always that process to deal with.
Last night, Joe said, "Oh, we're gonna get in around 11 or 12." I'm like, "Oh no, I'm not meeting you guys at 11 or 12 because my whole day will be spent."
No. So the trip got delayed. I think Joe could tell you a little more about coming in.
We had some mechanical issues. You know, I mean, it's not something that we're not used to.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not like something that we want to go through, but I mean, for the most part, we made it, and we're here.
And you're here. Hey, and you know, but God, that's a long drive.
It is. That is.
Because
I think it still took us a little bit, like a little under 7 hours. Because I mean, thank God that we have a vehicle that's it's a blessing to have, number one, and the power in it. It was amazing. So we're here. I mean, that's all I can say is that we're
give
here.
shout out to George Perea for the hookup.
George Perea, wherever you are, thank you very much, because you're a godsend.
What a godsend to be traveling in such a big vehicle.
Absolutely.
But I knew that, you know, when you travel in such a big vehicle, you can't be hauling ass either.
No, I mean,
it's a little slow.
You take chances, so you have to baby the baby. You know what I mean? So it's taking care of you, so you got to take care of it.
Yeah.
So it's a two-edged sword, but it works out at the end of the day. So, like I said, we're here and we're enjoying it with some friends that came from St. Louis. There's some friends from El Paso.
Yeah.
You know, there's you. There's some newfound family that we have. So I mean, we're good. We're good. I think we're very blessed. And again, once again, thank you very much for having us.
Oh God,
I always short of amazing.
I always feel compelled and obligated to speak with you guys because, you know, I've been such a huge fan of Pissing Razors for so long. You guys are part of my metal life, you know, especially when I talk to people about Texas metal. I'm like, you can't talk about Texas metal without talking about Pissing Razors. So, you know, when you guys come through our city every 2 years, 5 years, whenever, I'm like, I have to be there. So let's talk about why you're back. We're in 2023. The Vengeance is Ours tour.
Yes.
Yeah. Eulogy Death March. We talked about Eulogy Death March, your latest release back in 2021. It came out. How do you kind of feel it was received in the scene?
For it to be our first record,
after how many years, Joe?
18 years.
For all the people out there who just don't know.
For all the people that hadn't seen us in many years, our last, record with me, myself, Eddie, and Matt, it was 18 years ago. To be able to have us in the same room, to produce, the music that we love, the style that we love, the camaraderie that we have, the friendship, the brotherhood. To get that back in the room again, I mean, my God, I mean, that speaks its own words, you know what I mean? But to be able to capture it all again as far as musically, kind of sort of like if it was things were left undone, you know? So we just kind of grabbed that and moved it over to the new era and went for it. So, I mean, that's what I speak from that. I know he's got a different outlook of it, but I think it's been awesome. I think well received, in my opinion. I think I did see some killer reviews.
Of course.
They said a lot of things about all of us. It's not one thing specifically, but it was overall as a unit. I mean, because that's what we are.
You know, you said something pretty significant. You know, because, you know, we've seen some transitions in the lineup over the years. But to have Mat Lynch kind of back in the band, you know, and Matt, you know, for a while there, you know, I know how successful of a businessman you are, an entrepreneur you are, and you have so many things going on. Like, you never really needed to come back unless it was some kind of fire musically that wanted to bring you back.
Sure, and I think Joe, with a key phrase of there was some things left undone that we felt we needed to follow through with. We've always had a great chemistry. Especially Joe and I work well together, you know, both on stage, studio. Eddie and I have a great rapport. So we all seem to have a system and a chemistry that works well. Bringing Gio into the fold, it's been, you know, a blessing for us because he's very seamless, very easy to work with. He understands what we're about, what the band is about, exactly where we want to go with it. So, in reference to the new material, it was something that we felt we could follow through with, and there was no pressure because it was a DIY project.
Right.
We self-produced. We had Sterling Winfield get involved in the mix portion of the record. We feel like it came out very organically. You know, it's an organic release, not overproduced. It's got you know what I mean? It's very organic, and the approach in the studio was very relaxed one. So we kind of feel like that translated into the music. So we're really happy with it.
And it took a little time too, yeah.
Okay. So in reference to that, we were writing and recording through the COVID era. So that was a big part of that, was all these different mandates with the state, you know gatherings and things like that. So we had to kind of pick and choose our moments where we were getting together and really working the record out.
Not letting anybody know that we're hanging out, you know, because
Exactly.
obviously you had to limit your posts.
Right,
You can't put something on social media because everybody's going to see it.
Right,
It was kind of almost that hush-hush, but not hush-hush kind of thing, but it was pretty interesting to work through.
Mark, you know, because of, you know, with the advent of social media in the past decade, you know, you have to be so strategic, right, with what you're putting out for people to kind of see and read. And
if you're not active, then you kind of almost don't exist.
That's true, and I think sometimes, and not that Pissing Razors is at any fault of this. I think you guys are not. But I've seen other bands in San Antonio who, like, they feel compelled to feed that social media. They cannibalize even some of their own efforts, and that's not a good thing either.
Right.
So let's get back to this tour. You guys started off in El Paso.
Yeah.
I heard about the festival, the desert festival thingy, and I saw the pictures. How did that first show go in your hometown?
I thought it was amazing.
It always is.
Again, El Paso represents itself. You know, the crews that are there, our friends, family. Again, there's all I could say is thank you, because I mean they're always there. They're always there. Always.
Where was this show at, Joe?
It was at it used to be called Raves Club, but it's now called Sun City Event Center.
Yeah.
It used to be called Raves.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
we had some great other local talent along with us. So it made for a fun evening of great El Paso music, and everyone came out to support. So we really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was
I
great.
need to get back there, man. It's been a while since I've been to El Paso. I love El Paso.
2019.
Let me tell you something. I follow my stats on the Rob's page. After San Antonio, El Paso has the most. I have the most followers after San Antonio. I have the most followers from El Paso.
I love you, man. I mean, you're a staple in the music world and especially in the underground metal world. So we really appreciate. Our exposure is second to none. We thank you in terms of helping us get exposed to the area.
Absolutely.
San Antonio is such a great city to play. So thank you, for all the years.
This run will go through the end of May.
Yes.
Yeah. And one of the things, one of the most notable shows, I know you guys are going to be going up through the Midwest, but you'll be playing the Milwaukee Metal Fest. Whoa, that's kind of cool.
That first one back from 23 years ago.
Jack Koshik, remember Jack Koshik? He's now Jamie Josta.
Jamie Johnson.
Now Jamie Josta, huh?
So we have the fortune of having ties with Jamie Josta, not to name drop or anything like that, but we've done a number of shows with Hatebreed through the years, and just maintain that communication, and he was gracious enough to put us back on the bill this year. Yeah, it's great.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so
means
cool.
Means a lot for sure.
I remember when he announced that he was taking over that show, or that he had bought the rights for Milwaukee Metal Fest from Jack Koshik. I was like, whoa, this can only be cool.
Yeah, because the last version that we did of the Jack Koshik thing was
November to December.
November to December.
Holy shit.
Exactly.
November to December.
Before that, Milwaukee, the last one we did there was in 1999.
That was November to December, no?
No, that was in 1999. So we did 98, the first one, Milwaukee Metal Fest. We did the 99 Milwaukee Metal Fest. The 2000 November to December.
Oh, okay.
Caesar was in the band at the time.
See.
Matt was able to do two Milwaukee Metal Fest.
Right. Thank you for refreshing my memory, Joe.
We were supporting, in 2000, we were supporting the Fields of Disbelief with Caesar and the band. Prior to that, we had Matt doing the Cast Down the Plague and then the self-titled.
You mentioned Cesar Soto, and we were talking about him earlier off camera. And he was part of that crazy show at Alley Cats.
Absolutely.
For Fields of Disbelief.
September 1st of 2000.
September. It was your birthday.
It was my birthday.
It was your fucking birthday.
How can
and
I
I remember,
forget?
correct me if I'm wrong, I remember it was your birthday, and then I remember we're outside partying, and then your wife came at that time and took you away. You were like, I'm leaving.
My ex-wife.
Your ex-wife, she's like, I'm taking Joe and I'm leaving. We're out of here. Did that happen?
Yes.
Refresh my memory, because I don't remember.
It did happen, and the reason why was because she was pregnant at the time with my son.
And you had been on the road for a month.
Yeah, she was pregnant with my son. So she was like, that's enough.
Vámonos a la fregada.
Time to go.
Yeah. You've had your fun with the
Time
boys.
to go. Because that was the last show. That was the last show of the tour.
Yeah, that was the last show of the tour.
Last show of the tour.
Wow.
So I flew home right there, and then the guys came home.
Yeah. I think a few weeks back, and this is a record that doesn't have either one of you on it, but I posted a post about Where We Come From release.
Right.
And I remember that time in the band significantly. I had stayed close with Eddie, and I remember the band came to town. I think they played. I remember they played a bar called Medieval Nights.
Yes, they did.
And Dewey was there, and Caesar was there, and I remember the record came out, and I was skeptical. And then I became a big fan of that record. I thought, oh wow, this record stands on its own.
Yes, it does.
And I remember
Yes,
when I posted about that, I think it was the anniversary of the record or something, and I think Joe, you said something about, or somebody in the camp said, yeah, this record is great.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about your feelings and about that. That small, minuscule part of Pissing Razor's history.
At that moment, obviously, I had a small portion of just Burning Bridges, because that was the first song that we actually started working with right before my departure. So that record actually holds a lot of,
Joe, were those your lyrics?
some of them. Because I think it was myself and Caesar or Ed. I'm not too sure. Anyways, I off the top of my head, I know I mostly remember a lot of things, but on that one in particular, it's kind of like a little fuzzy because there were so many things that were going on. I was about ready to be a father again. And then leaving the band at the moment wasn't something that I wanted to do. I was unprepared for it, but I knew I had to do it. So that's why that record holds some sort of more meaning to me in my heart and my mind. So when we do some of the songs from that record, they stand out.
You play those songs in the set.
We did. We have done it before. The last time we came, I think we did Burning Bridges on the last run in November. But again, going back to what I'm saying about that, it means a whole lot because of that reason.
Yeah.
And the last song I worked with Busy Razors at that time was Burning Bridges.
And you have no problem singing those songs?
Absolutely not, no.
And you can definitely pull it
I
off,
think
of course.
Dewey, when he came in, it was the closest version to what we had going on. So it was almost awesome to see them keep going. And I wish it would have probably kept doing more, but for whatever reason, it didn't transpire. But, the history of the band speaks for itself,
I have to say this on camera. I've said it on social media, but I want to say it on camera, Joe. That show that I shot at the Alley Cats for Fields of Disbelief, I have the video of it. I've watched it 100 times. And I have to say, even though we're talking about 20 years ago,
right,
that was one of your most prolific performances I think I've ever seen you do. Like, you were on fucking fire, bro.
I think we did speak about that.
God, I'm like, I love your moves, bro. Like, you had moved, like the signature Joe Rodriguez moves.
For every little...
Like, you would jump and then you'd
accent.
be, and then you'd go like this.
Yeah, for every accent.
Oh, God. I'm like, and you were like sweating balls. I'm like, man, like, you want to see Joe, the twilight of Joe. That's him, man. That's him on stage giving it to everybody. And when I see that video, it reminds me not only of how great of a performer at that time that you gave all the fans, but it reminds me of how wonderful I felt to see you do it.
Right, thank you. Well, appreciate it.
Dude. Amazing. And you know what? I'm grateful that I was there to capture it because that video will live on forever.
Absolutely.
Your history will live on forever.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. So
because of you, too.
Oh, God. Let's move on. Cast Down the Plague turned 24 years old this year. Holy smokes. How do you feel about that?
It's unbelievable to think about the span of time.
Box Live, Joe!
We got it coming for you, man. Hopefully we got it coming for you, man.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Come on, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Cast Down, I remember, like, to me, like, the debut was so amazing, and then Cast Down came out, and it was just like a part two. It could have been a double disc, kind of.
Yes.
You think that, or was there was...
I think by the time we hit the Cast Down stride, we were well into a long stretch of touring. We had already gotten a lot of studio experience under our belts, working with somebody like Andy Sneap, who I always reference, like, just the top tier professional and producer that really helped focus our attention on what we were doing, really kind of helped hone our style and our sound. So, I mean, Andy is a huge player, and
talk about a fifth member.
Exactly.
If he ever was, it would be him.
Really, really incredible
He
experience.
actually gave us a nice little molding as to how things should.
Have y'all seen him with Priest?
I haven't seen the show yet. No, I've seen footage. I haven't seen him live yet, though. Yeah, he's killing it. He's still there. He's still doing it.
He's still gonna tour with Priest.
Yeah.
Hey, well,
The fans wanted him there.
Apparently,
right?
he's a member now.
The fans wanted him,
it.
and that says a lot about the dude.
and I'm sure it's a good paying gig. That doesn't hurt either, huh?
That doesn't hurt at all.
I
But
don't
hey,
need to
man.
produce bands. I'll just play guitar.
Why not?
There's a local producer, one of our best in San Antonio. His name's Clifton Miles, and Clifton finagled some kind of luncheon with him, and he met him for lunch, and they talked and stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow, that's
guy.
awesome.
Andy's a great guy, and I mean, he's just really easygoing. There's no ego, you know. You don't have to. There's no pretentious nature to him. He's just a really, really sweet dude, man. He's cool.
I would be kind of, I don't want to say this really, but I think a lot of the initial Pissing Razor success is kind of owed to Dandy Sneap, because that first record just fucking sounds amazing.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt. I mean, if you're looking at the history of the band, so what we were trying to find was our own particular sound, and Andy gave that to us.
Yeah.
We heard albums at the time that, you know, we felt we were moving into the next phase of the band's prominence. We heard albums that we had no clue Andy was a part of, that we said, man, this album sounds great, or this album sounds great. You know, luckily the label head at the time, Eddie, was negotiating our studio terms, and Andy was put in our court, you know, by our label, and we had no idea he was a key figure in some of these albums. Met him and really mapped out, you know, an approach to getting the albums done. But the idea that he got in and really just sharpened our sound, I mean, we would not be where we're at without Andy
absolutely.
Sneap. There's no question about it. So all credit to that dude.
Absolutely.
Dude, I still listen to that record, and every time I listen to it in my car, in my home, whatever, it's like amazing record.
He captured what we were about.
So as we sit here 2 years after the release of Eulogy Death March, are you guys kind of still riding that wave, or are you guys getting together and kind of jamming some new stuff, or any new ideas at this point, or is it still too early?
I can't say it's too early. I think, again, we didn't have much time to actually get out and play on that record in 22.
Right.
So now we're in 23, but the goal is at the moment to showcase some of those songs that were on that record.
Right.
Showcase, of course, our catalog, our history.
For sure.
That's why we named it Vengeance is Ours Tour, because it's basically trying to establish that, you know what, we're bringing it from the front to the back to the front. Category from 1 to fucking Z, you know what I mean? A to Z. But again, not leaving out the eulogy, but just trying to just say that, hey, you know what, we didn't go away, we're here again. We have an opportunity to go showcase at Milwaukee Metal Fest, which we're going to do. Oh. But we have an opportunity to showcase again to you, the fans here in San Antonio, the friends in Houston, you know, the fans in, you know, wherever we're going up towards the Midwest. That's what we're going to do. We're going to reconnect with a lot of people we haven't seen in 25 plus years, you know. So I mean, again, doing it with these guys and just having that solid unit, the camaraderie again, and being in a vehicle. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, you know what I mean?
That's what it's all about, bro.
So, I mean,
I remember, Joe, when we spoke in 21 and we talked about the title Eulogy Death March, you were like, Rob, there's some people out there who kind of wrote us off as a band, but we're back and we're better and we're stronger than ever. And you and I, you know, we're close friends, and we talked about, you know, at this stage in life, how we've become more focused and more aware of what's important in our lives, and whether that's family or relationships, romantic relationships, or whether that's our passions like my program or your band or whatever. You're like, we're stronger and better than ever because we're wiser.
absolutely.
And I remember when you said that to me a couple years ago, I was like, man, that's so true. That's so fucking true.
And then it goes back to the goal at hand is to get through this. We're going to capture as much live material from El Paso to here and moving forward.
Of course.
And possibly put out another live record.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool with Matt on it. Yeah.
With the original crew on.
Yeah.
There. Then you got Gio in there because.
Oh, that's a little scoop.
We already put him down. You know, in his first.
That's a little scoop.
On his first album.
I know.
With the band.
Where is Gio? I haven't seen him today.
He popped in a little bit, but he just kind of peeked in and then he just took off. And then we're probably going to revisit some of the songs that didn't make Eulogy Death March, just to see, maybe release singles.
For sure.
We're not done yet, by far. But right now, the point is to capture the band as who we are right now. And it might possibly be as like a live record.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that, especially with Lynch on it.
Kind of where we're at with it.
As we just really quick, I was going to end out, but you mentioned something I think that's pretty significant, because when we talk about the dynamics of what's happening in the market and how music is being digested, Eulogy had like 14 songs, right?
Yeah.
That's chingos of songs. So,
Which
there's
is
other
something that people don't do.
People don't do anymore. So people are like, oh, let's release singles or let's release an EP. Is that something that the band is kind of leaning towards nowadays?
I wouldn't say an EP. I think the singles are probably more where it's at, besides doing the live thing.
Right.
Or we also threw around a kind of best of. We're recording some of the old songs with Gio on there.
Oh, wow.
Capturing his groove.
Wow.
With some of the older stuff. So, I mean, again, primarily is the live thing, but we threw around the
re-recording.
The re-recording of the
Wow,
tunes,
I never even thought of that.
And just doing a best of, but
Yeah.
in a reformulated kind of new era.
Were there any songs on the demo, like the demo that y'all released, that weren't on the debut?
He would know before I would. He's got such a good memory, but I don't recall.
No.
All the songs on the demo were on the debut that Sneap did?
Yes.
Okay.
Every song was. Well, they didn't make, no, there was two, Wasteland and Haze of Deception were only on the Japanese versions.
Oh.
So, not on the U.S. version.
Okay.
So, those two songs that were from the beginning, the demo stuff that you had gotten, never made it. They only
On to the debut.
Right. They only got released in Japan. So, whoever has the Japan releases, thank you very much.
But those songs got recorded by Sneap?
They got recorded by Sneap, yeah.
But they never were released here?
No, never.
Ah, pues ándale.
If you have...
Dámelos.
There it is.
Yo los quiero.
Yeah. So if the people that, in Japan and all our fans in Japan...
Pinche japoneses tienen todos los
Come on with
pinche
it.
fucking
Come on with it.
Why do they have all
share
this
the
shit,
wealth.
Joe?
Share the wealth, Japan. Come on.
They're not
Or you
even
know what? Hey,
they don't even put that shit on
I'm
YouTube.
sure people even have it on, eBay or something like that. Come on, share the wealth.
I'm getting it. Gentlemen, thank you so much. What a pleasure to really sit down with each of you before we started recording, just to talk about life and what's going on with each other. Because,
Catching up.
I said this before, but I think as we get older, we realize how precious life is. How many people have we seen pass? Just because of craziness,
we've lost some
mental
good ones.
unwellness. We live in a crazy world.
Absolutely.
In our camp, we've lost some good ones.
I know, bro.
It starts with Cheezer, down to Diggler, and then with Bates, and then
I know.
Then we lose Benya.
Oh man, all those I knew. You know what? I knew all those people.
Again, but not excluding everybody else that fell in between there that were our true friends and family. So God rest their souls. We love them all, and now I know they're all together. So we have to appreciate what we have at the moment. That's right. So
relish in life, every
exactly.
single moment.
And I hear you say that a lot.
Yeah.
And you know what? Let's heed that,
That's
because
the most important thing, right?
we gotta keep pushing forward.
Bro, I don't take a day for granted.
We gotta keep pushing forward.
When my chick cooks me a good meal, or when I have a good day at work, I relish it and all, man.
We have support from far and away, and I mean that to heart. You know what I'm talking about. Far and away, we have support. And we have to enjoy that and take it for what it is.
Appreciate
but also respect it.
For sure.
Because if not, we wouldn't be here.
And stay humble.
Yeah.
And stay humble.
We wouldn't be here. Absolutely.
Gentlemen, I want to give each of you an opportunity just to say any last words, any thank yous, any love, anything. Just anything.
Just, my love to everybody at home. You know who you are. Everybody here in San Antonio, and everybody that we're going to see on the way up to the Midwest and end our true journey. Which was the reason to get up there and do the tour again, which is Milwaukee Metal Fest. But ultimately, to end it on a safe note with my brothers, friends, and family.
Yeah, and the wifey too.
Well, pues that's what I mean.
Okay, she's like, only chingos does
Ya
Joe.
sabe, bro.
Don't worry, honey. I'm gonna support your donuts. I'm gonna sell the
Yes.
donuts.
You know it.
Come on, Matt. How about you?
I got you first on the list, brother. You knew this was coming, but we really appreciate you. Appreciate the city of San Antonio. What a great city. What a great music city. And it's just a great representation of what music should be. People come together and it spans out from there, and we go nationwide, go around the world, and just keep it going, brother. But we love you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Joe.
And you got a cameo from the brother
Oh,
El
mira,
Diablo.
come in before we end. ¿Dónde estabas, cabrón? ¿Dónde estabas? Mira.
What's going on?
We're sending last thank yous right now. Any last thank yous?
Thank you.
Any last thank yous?
Any thank yous to whoever you want to thank.
Oh man, just thanks everybody for coming out. Fucking amazing to see all our friends after all these years. Fucking amazing.
Awesome. Man, I wish you would have shown up a little bit better. We just finished. But anyway, I'm doing great. Great to see you. You look good. We all look good. I'm so grateful that we had the opportunity to chat tonight. And for all you people out there who can catch the band, they're going to be on the road till the end of this month. So be sure to go to the shows, support Pissing Razors, go to your music media outlet and download Eulogy Death March. If you are not jamming that record yet, you should. You saw the band only right here on Rob's MetalWorks.